the contract too before, and I guess the money wasn't right, or they didn't like the money or whatever. So it was an option before, you know. And then for Canelo, it's like, you know,
He was supposed to meet
it's
Jamal.
not a
Yeah,
huge.
you're right. You're right. He was supposed to
Yeah.
meet Jamal, and for
Okay.
whatever reason, it's not happening. And now he's fighting Jermel.
Yeah. So I just feel like for Canelo, it's is not. He's fighting a guy from a smaller weight class,
Yeah,
and it's still a name. It's still a name though that warrants money and respect. So if I
yeah,
do beat him, I mean, yeah, people probably say, well, he came up 2 weight classes, but he's a big name. He's was the undisputed champ at his weight class,
yeah.
and if you look at them stand by each other, it's like, whoa, he's kind of taller than Canelo. So it's not like you're looking like, oh, he's a little guy. You're kind of almost looking like, well, he doesn't look that much smaller than him. You know what I'm saying? And
He
you're not.
he's
It's like,
5'11". He's 5'11" to
yeah,
Canelo Alvarez's 5'8". I mean, so we're talking about a 3-inch advantage, and that's what's listed. Who knows what the real.
yeah, yeah,
But I mean, he does look significantly larger, even though, like you said, he's coming up to weight classes, right? So
yeah,
we got to give Jermell Charlo credit for doing that. Like, you have to give him a lot of
yeah,
credit. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, for real, yeah. I mean, but it's like Canelo when he was talking about Bud, and Bud is now entertaining the thought of, hey, maybe I'll fight Canelo. And he's like, what do I get out of that? Because they're just gonna say, if I beat him, it's like whatever. If I lose, I'm with you, money. But I mean, he's getting money anyway. He's getting money fighting other
Canelo
guys.
money though. Canelo money though. Canelo's like the lottery, isn't he? Canelo's the lottery now,
Well,
man.
I'm talking about Canelo is getting
Yeah,
money
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So
yeah,
why
yeah,
would he go fight Bud, risk losing to a 147 pound? Even though, like he said, Canelo said, there's nothing there for me. Like, what would I gain if I
yeah,
beat him? Nobody's gonna give me credit for beating a 140. At least, Jermell, he looks big. You know what I'm saying? You can,
yeah.
you know what I mean. He's not. He wouldn't come in looking like as small as Terrence Crawford would. You know what I mean?
But even then, if Canelo does win the fight, I do feel like people are gonna say, "Oh, well, you beat a guy who came up to weight classes." He's kind of
Yeah, they will. But
his.
imagine three.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Three would be
You know,
bad. Three would be bad.
so,
But I mean, so this fight is made, which again, I just first off, because I thought Jermal would be the one to fight Canelo if he were to fight a Charlo brother, because he's the naturally bigger one, I guess, or at least been
yeah, he
campaigning.
fights at 160.
Yeah, I thought he
Yeah,
would fight him. So it's kind of weird to me that the Jermel fight happened instead of that, but I figure that's going to benefit Canelo, right? That's going to benefit Canelo. But like, I feel like Canelo has had trouble, man, in his past couple fights. Like, he didn't look that good. He fought John Ryder in his last fight, who's just like
yeah,
he's like a B, maybe like a B level, B minus level guy at this point, I think. And I felt like he was hitting Canelo here and there. And his most notable win was against Danny Jacobs, who's was already kind of over the hill, when Ryder fought him. And Canelo didn't look good against Ryder. And before that, he got beat by Bivol. You know what I mean? And Bivol, okay, Bivol fights at 175, but Bivol offered to come down to 168 and said, "Hey, I'll fight you in your weight class, and we could do it for
yeah,
undisputed." Canelo didn't want that. It sounded like Canelo wanted to fight at 175 or no deal, probably because he sees the threat of Bivol. And my point in saying that is twofold, right? First off, Bivol is not that big of a guy. So neither is Charlo. So he can beat, he can be beat, I think, especially considering Charlo's actually like a little bit taller, right? My second point is, Bivol is a boxer and he's pretty athletic. And I feel like Charlo is athletic as well, and he's a good boxer and he's strong. And I don't know. I just feel like Canelo has trouble with these guys, man. He has trouble with people that can box and are athletic.
Look, well, I think I wouldn't say that because I thought, you know, I did think that Plant could box. You know what I mean? And he can move around. I just think that the difference between Plant and Bivol, like Bivol could withstand the
Technique.
barrage of, he can withstand Canelo's, bully tactics. He can withstand it because he is naturally a bigger guy. He has great defense, you know what I mean? But he's a bigger guy, and so you just can't push him back. He can push back on Canelo, and so that's why I think it ran out for Canelo. It's like, okay, you can't bully this guy the way you would do. Like
Yes.
Plant, if you watch when Plant fought him, Plant wasn't trying to bully him back or trying to walk him down, or Plant was trying to stick, move, and box and do it and do. And that's kind of what Canelo wants is. But when somebody like Bivol starts backing you down and starts throwing
Yeah.
shots back at you and standing his ground with you, then it's a little bit different. And you're not just getting him out of there with punches, and he's catching you and it's hurting you just like you're normally hurting people. You start to, back off. He started getting worn down, tired. I
Yeah.
mean, with Charlo, it's can he do that? Can he
You
can
know,
he back Canelo down?
but I love that you bring up Plant because Plant was doing well in that fight until the end. Like
I
Plant
mean,
was
he was
doing pretty
losing
good in
still.
that fight, so it's almost kind of to the point where, to my point, right? I mean, tell me what you think, where he has trouble with these athletic guys with movement. We saw it with Lara. We definitely saw it with Mayweather. We saw it with Bivol. And I thought he lost the first two Triple G fights. I thought he should have lost those first two Triple G fights. But Triple G's not really known for athleticism. But I just thought Triple G outworked him. I just thought he had more cardio. He had more of a gas tank. You know what I mean? So I see these athletic guys. I see these strong guys with a gas tank like Triple G. For me, they give this guy a lot of trouble, and he's looked like he's aging a little bit in his last couple fights. I could be wrong, but he looks like he's no longer that Canelo that, for instance, fought Danny Jacobs, right? The one that fought Danny Jacobs looked real good. He had nice head movement. He was really good. I don't feel like this is the same Canelo anymore, man. Like maybe I'm wrong.
I
What do you
mean,
think?
I mean, obviously you could tell. In my opinion, he's gotten a little bit older, but he's still a beast out there, and
Yeah,
and I feel like he's at the stage where Mayweather was when he fought Canelo. Canelo's at the stage, what I mean by that, not saying he's comparable to Mayweather as far as skill wise, but he's a vet. He knows little tricks and tactics, and you can see he got better and better, especially after he fought Mayweather. He
yeah,
just learned more and more tricks. You can see that he looked at it and found other tricks that Mayweather was doing and other tricks to add to his repertoire where he got better, and that's how he was able to beat guys like a
yeah,
Caleb Plant. Because even though Caleb Plant was slick and he moves and he's good, he knows little tricks to catch you. I can catch you like I've been told by people who box, and it's just like you could be faster than me, but I just need to time you, get your rhythm, get how you move, and eventually, I'm gonna catch
figure
up
you
to you.
out. Yeah,
And
figure you out.
yeah, I'm gonna catch up to you, and then eventually he did the same thing with Billy Joe because I didn't think Billy Joe was doing a bad job, but eventually I'm gonna catch up to you. And when I catch up to you, how do you react when I catch up to you?
Yeah,
Does it
yeah,
can you take the power? Can you take the bullying and all that? But it's all in that. I'm gonna eventually wear you down and catch up to you, and then you're gonna start slowing down, punches to the body to slow you down, and all that thing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I just felt like if you can withstand that stuff and go back at him, Triple G. The reason why Triple G had a good against him was because he didn't back down. He could withstand it, and
yeah,
let's see if you can withstand mine, and we
yeah.
can go back and forth. I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna retreat. I'm gonna get you on your back foot. How you like fighting off of going backwards?
Yeah,
And
no, that
I
makes
thought
sense.
Triple G might have edged him the first fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. What happened? You good? Did someone break into the car? What happened?
Nah.
Can you hear me?
Some
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know what
Okay,
that was
okay.
about.
Shout out to Slide Tendencies, by the way. He said he definitely wore Plant down. And I think Plant's issue is kind of similar to Canelo's issue. Gary, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to say to Slide Tendencies, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you dropping the comment. Guys, subscribe and drop any kind of comments or questions you have in the chat or in the comments below. Having this conversation, it makes me realize that like Plant and Canelo do both have kind of the same issue in that they both have cardio issues. For me, Plant, even when he fought Benavidez, he could only keep it up for a certain amount of time, and then he wears out, and then the people catch up to him. And same thing happened with Canelo when he fought Plant, and same thing happened with Benavidez when he fought Plant. They caught him later on in the fight. I think Canelo has the same problem, though. You mentioned Triple G kind of standing his ground. I think that wore Canelo out, and I remember in the fight, I think it was the first one, he like ran out of energy in the middle of the fight and like kind of took the middle rounds off and had to come back. You know what I mean? I feel like Canelo has always had an issue with his cardio. I mean, he looked better in the rematch with Triple G where he kind of took the fight to Triple G instead of I don't know, trying to outbox him or whatever he was doing. He tried to outfight him, maybe saw that he's getting older too. But I don't see Charlo's a big, strong kid, unless he's not able to withstand those punches Canelo throws. I think that's going to be telling, right? If Charlo's not able to withstand those punches, he's gonna have a long night. But if he's able to withstand them, I mean, I've never seen Charlo out of shape. I never seen him tired. He looks like he goes. I mean, in those Castano fights, man, they went at it. They went at it to the very end. It was a super high pace.
And this is the thing, though. I'm not gonna lie, Castano, you can see you wore on him a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you can see he had to take a wind and Castano hurt him a couple times.
Yeah.
So if Castano can hurt you, what can Canelo do? So I mean, he took it. He got hurt, but he kept fighting and he took it. But he got caught a couple times with some shots that kind of stung him a little bit. And so it's just, we know Canelo can take a punch. We've seen him take punches from, Bivol, Triple G, some big heavy-handed guys or whatever, and and take those punches. So I don't think it's gonna be easy just to wobble Canelo or get him up out of there. But
no, I don't think you would get him out of there. I do think though he could outbox him for sure. But here's what I wanted to say. You bring up Castano hurting Charlo, and I agree. That did happen. That was a brutal fight for the both of them. But it makes me think of our buddy Terrence Crawford, right? When he fought Gamboa. Hear me out on this, though. When he fought Gamboa at a lower weight class, he got hurt by Gamboa. He was hurt in that fight. But as he moved up in weight, I feel like maybe for him, and I'm not saying the same is going to happen for Charlo, but it might, maybe putting on that weight is going to give him a little bit more hydration, a little bit more durability, right? Because I don't know, you tell me, but for me, Terrence Crawford looked stronger and more durable at welterweight against Errol Spence than he did at, was it like 130 something against Gamboa? Like he looked more durable.
I don't think it was durability because he didn't really take any damage, a lot of damage from Errol.
No, but
he got
hit flush a couple times, and he even said it. He said it in the post fight interviews. He's been saying, "Oh, that's it. Oh, he's gonna have a long night if that's all he's got."
But what I'm saying is that from the Gamboa fight, I think Crawford is a different fighter. Period. Not just from I'm more durable, but more for my defense is better, my skill level is better. I've gotten just more. I've gotten better since that Gamboa.
But how does this get better? This shouldn't get better
because. No. Because the shots that hurt you, I had this argument before. Yeah. The shots that hurt you are shots that you don't see coming. Like
Okay.
when if you look at boxers, a lot of times they swing and all of a sudden they see that punch coming from the side. They kind of like, or they
Yeah,
kind of roll
yeah,
with it or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
The shot that Gamboa hit was kind of to me. It's even like when he knocked down Errol the first time. He knew he didn't hurt Errol. He caught Errol. Errol didn't see the punch coming, and then after that, you hear him commentating. He's like he didn't see that punch coming, and that's
yeah,
why he's catching Errol. Errol's dropping, and it's that type of punch that hurts you. So I think
yeah,
when he got caught by Gamboa, one, I think he wasn't as good as he is now, and he didn't see that punch. Got
yeah,
caught with something, got hit, nipped, and was like, oh, I think he's a much better fighter now. I think when Errol Spence caught him, I don't really think Errol Spence caught him too many times where he didn't see it. Like he
yeah,
didn't see the hit or anything like that. Because Errol Spence is not. That was my thing going in the fight. Terence Crawford walks you into punches.
yeah,
Punches you don't see. You know what I'm saying? Punches you come in attacking him and you get hit. He punches in between punches.
yeah.
So you don't even see it coming. You're open. You get hit flush. He's sharp. He's pinpoint accuracy. Errol Spence is. You can see me coming. I'm gonna break you down,
I
and I'm
do
just gonna
think
beat up on
though.
you.
I do think though, at a higher weight, people tend to be a bit more durable. I do think people tend to
Well,
be more durable at a higher weight. You know what I mean? Because that you don't have to dehydrate so much. Your brain's got more fluid in it or surrounding it. And if he can't hurt Charlo in this fight, like he's not going to outwork. He's not going to outwork Charlo, man. He doesn't throw enough volume. He's going to have to hit Charlo hard enough to get Charlo's respect. If he doesn't do that, if he can't get Charlo's respect with the power he has, which is very possible he can, you know what I mean? He's knocked out
yeah.
Kovalev. He's knocked out big guys. But if he can't hurt Charlo at 168, bro, he's in big trouble. I think he's in big trouble. To be honest, I think this is a very dangerous fight for Canelo. I think people are underrating Charlo. I mean, I'm not sure what you're hearing or what you're seeing on the internet, but from what I'm seeing, like a lot of people are making it seem like Charlo's going to be light work. I don't think so, man. I don't think so at all. I think this is a very
Well,
close.
always. Well, always with the internet. I mean, I kind of like don't want to gauge by the internet because obviously all Mexican people are going for Charlo. Majority of black people are going for Jamar Charlo, and then you have your Hispanic fans that want to go over here, or your fans that just like the Mexican style fighting or whatever, and they're gonna
Yeah,
go over
yeah.
here, and they hate Charlo so much because they are people that a lot of people hate. So you know what I mean.
You know
But
why? Can I tell you why I dislike Charlo? Can I
here it
tell you
goes.
why I dislike Charlo?
Go ahead.
It's because he's always tilted to the side like this. It's like, bro, I just want to grab his head and fix it because he's always like this, and he's always so serious. He's always mad at someone. He's to the side like this. That's the only thing I dislike about Charlo, to be honest with you.
My head to the side.
But have you noticed that he's always like this?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
I can hear you perfect. I can hear you
Hold
perfect.
on. Give me. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah. He's probably getting a phone call. He's gonna have to get out and get back in, I think. But anyway, knuckleheads, we'll take this as a quick reminder that Fighters Rep 19 is going down on September 9th. Be sure to get your tickets at FightersRep.com if you haven't already. Be sure to join the channel. Don't just subscribe to the channel, which I appreciate you do. Subscribe down below. But join the channel. It's the only way you'll get to watch Fighters Rep 19 live. We're going to have some amazing fights for you out of the Commerce Casino in Los Angeles, the world's biggest poker room. It's an amazing casino. If you could come out. It's got a hotel connected to it. Come spend the weekend with us. Meet the fighters. Watch the fights. Most incredible card I think you guys are going to see. Definitely one that you cannot miss considering the talent we have on this card. So come out, join us, support the brand, support the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. And as we continue to try to get Gary back on the podcast here, I want to say I appreciate you guys joining us. I appreciate you guys leaving comments. Just trying to grow the fight community here, just trying to talk about the stuff that we're interested in the fight game. And, that's pretty much that's pretty much it. I'm hoping I haven't lost Gary here. But if we have, it is what it is. Now, I wanted to continue, kind of give you guys my opinion about the Canelo versus Charlo fight, which I think is definitely the biggest fight for the rest of the year. You know, I wanted to say Usyk versus Dubois is pretty big. It's coming up this weekend, but of course, people are not going to know Usyk and Dubois unless they're hardcore fans. They're not going to anticipate that fight as much as they're going to anticipate a Canelo Charlo fight. Even if they're just definitely if they're casual fans, they're not going to care for that. But as a hardcore fan, I do believe Canelo and Charlo's the next big fight coming up. I do think Usyk Dubois this weekend is a pretty exciting fight to see what happens there. I think Usyk wins. Do I think Dubois has a chance? Yeah, I think Dubois has a chance. But I think Usyk wins this one just because he's so technically sound. But listen, Dubois is a real heavyweight. If he goes forward and, just throws leather at Usyk, there's always a chance he could hurt him. I think it's a dangerous fight for Usyk because Dubois is a natural heavyweight. And as far as Canelo, yeah, I mean, it's the biggest fight coming up for the rest of the year. He's going up against Charlo. And, I don't know who wins this one yet, man. I don't even want to give you guys a prediction right now. I mean, I guess right off the bat, gun to my head, if I had to be forced to pick someone, it would probably be Canelo Alvarez, right? Just because he's el gran campeón, you know what I mean? And he's just stronger, and he's 2 weight classes up, and he's got skills, and he's got good defense, he's got movement. But, to write Charlo off, I mean, definitely not. I mean, if Charlo were to win this fight by decision, by outworking Canelo, whatever it was, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I'll give you the prediction on the fight, but I just need some more time to sit with it, think about it, and let it marinate. Knuckleheads, I'm going to let you guys go for this episode. Be sure to join us every Monday for the Fighters Rep podcast. I'm going to cut this one a little bit short since we can't get Gary on here, but I will be dropping content. We'll be dropping some more content tomorrow, actually, related to Fighters Rep 19. Check it out. It's going to be the countdown for Raymond Martinez versus Cam Spencer 2. You're not going to want to miss it. Join the channel. Subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys soon.